Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel, T-Tark-Lex, where we talk about Pokemon, chasing a dream, and documenting every step of the journey. So today, I wanted to talk about 151. Wow, Scarlet, specifically Scarlet Violet 151, right? The set. I don't know if y'all have checked out the prices recently on some of the singles, but stuff is going crazy. I mean, I had to Google what's like beyond parabolic, and it's called like ellipse. So I think we're at the ellipse stage, right? Like it is just absolutely insane the price increases on some of these things over the last really just week or 2 weeks. I mean, we've just gone like so far vertical that we're starting to go back through time, right? Like it's absolutely insane. Honestly, I keep an eye, like a little bit, I keep track of like the singles here and there, mostly because of the like the 151 master sets that I build to resell on my eBay store. I actually have a whole video about that. I'll drop that down in the description if you want to go check out like how I kind of process like what I do with my 151 bulk, because I've always kind of felt that it's just by far and away has a lot of value. Like it's like, I think at this point it's pretty obvious. 151 just can't be stopped. It's like one of those sets that's just, I mean, it really is unlike any other set. As far as I know, throughout the entire like Pokemon TCG, there's never been one set that has all 151 Pokemon in it, like 151 does, right? And I think that just has such a power of nostalgia. And as we see, right, nostalgia just is super powerful. I think a lot of people, like myself included, 151 was a huge catalyst for kind of getting me back into collecting in general. I think that's probably true of a lot of people, kind of like millennials, and you know, like I'm 37, about to be 38 tomorrow, actually. So I just think there's a lot of people in this age group who kind of got back into the hobby, maybe because of 151, kind of, you know, gathered up a lot of feelings of like wanting to collect cards again, all original 151 Pokemon. You know, maybe I'm a little biased, of course, because I am definitely a Gen 1er. But I think at the end of the day, when you look across the sets, it kind of, like it made sense, right? Looking back, I do feel like it's kind of strange, like the 151 sealed items have kind of always been decently expensive. You know, since we've been in this kind of like crazy boom that's been going on over the last year or so. But like the sealed stuff's always kind of been like steadily increasing. You know, we saw huge price hikes on like the ETBs and the Pokemon Center ETBs, especially over the last year or so, pretty steady increases, kind of like with the rest of the market. But the singles never really like kept up with it that much, which is, I always found to be kind of odd. I guess part of it is 151 is a smaller set, I guess, total. You know, only 151 cards. I think that's on the smaller side. I'm not 100%, you know, fluent in all the different numbers and the things with the TCG, but I think, yeah, I just found it kind of strange that like the singles for the set, like the Charizard, you know, was usually never really peaked much more than like $150 to $200. When you look at, you know, other crazy cards from like other top sets, like the Greninja from Twilight Masquerade comes to mind, was always kind of like in that close to $300 or so range. And it just kind of didn't really make sense, like a Charizard, which is like almost undisputedly the king of Pokemon TCG, you know, not kind of carrying that same value as like a Greninja. And I get that Greninja is a pretty popular Pokemon. But yeah, it was just always kind of weird that like the singles of 151 didn't really seem to match like how expensive the packs were, especially. So I think we're finally kind of seeing like maybe before we were like, you know, is 151 sealed like overvalued, or are the singles undervalued, right? And I think now we're just starting to kind of see that catch up to itself, if that makes sense. So what does that mean for me and my business? Honestly, not a lot. I mean, it's not like I have like stacks and stacks of, 151 singles that I'm looking to sell or anything like that. So like immediately right now, it doesn't matter too much. I did actually sell out of all of my master sets that I do build. So I am going to have to restock those. And actually, that's another part of how I noticed this was I've just, like kind of just been keeping an eye on the reverse hollows and stuff because some of them have always had like some value, like $1 to $2 or so. The Gengar was always like $3 to $4. I did notice it starting to like creep up, and I'm like, should I kind of like go for it on these? Should I grab these now? In hindsight, I should have, of course, because if you look now, I think that Gengar is like $20 for a reverse hollow. So that being said, if you have any reverse hollow Gengars, keep an eye on that. Maybe you want to cash in on the hype. Personally, I don't really know that this is hype. I mean, it might come down a little bit, but I really don't think so. I mean, at this point, the set is, I think, 3 years old-ish, 3.5. I know it's about to go out of rotation, like it's about to rotate out of standard. I think that's another large part of why we're seeing this parabolic ellipse, full circle, insane price movement, because everybody is now realizing like, oh wow, like this is going out of print, right? I do think, I think it would be huge amounts of hopium to think that there's going to be some type of like reprint of 151 at this point. What I will say is I think Crown Zenith Sea and Sky boxes came out like right after or right as Crown Zenith was rotating out. So it's not entirely outside of the realm of possibility that we get some type of product that has 151 in it, especially with, like the 30th anniversary year, right? There's obviously a ton of hype around that. 151 kind of ties in with all the nostalgia of that. They just re-released Fire Red Leaf Green. I'm actually going to be doing a Leaf Green Nuzlocke soon, which is pretty exciting. So, it's possible. It's maybe sometime over the course of like the summer, maybe we get some type of 151, restock or like new product or something like the Blooming Waters. But I do think like those Blooming Waters boxes were kind of like the last thing. Like, I think at this point, it's almost safe to say like we're not getting any more. And that's a large part of why these prices are starting to go up. And the crazy part about this is I know like the market's been really insane the last couple, year plus. But a lot of times, like this type of insane vertical movement on prices doesn't come until after a set is officially rotated out. We saw that a lot with like the Sword and Shield boom that happened a couple years ago. So like the fact that we're seeing this already, and I think it's not until April. I don't really follow the TCG super closely, like the actual game. But I think it's not until next month that it officially rotates out. And yet we're already seeing this. So I think that just kind of goes to show like, 151 for me has always been my favorite Scarlet Violet set. Personal, like if that's not obvious by the posters I have on the wall and things like that. It's what got me back in, or at least one of the things that got me back in. So I think for me, it's always been the top set of the era, just because it's just my favorite. But I think, yeah, it's easily got to be in the top 3. I don't think that can really be disputed. It's got to be 151, Prismatic, and then that last slot, maybe that's up for debate. It's looking like it's probably Destined Rivals. Again, a lot of nostalgia, Team Rocket, things like that. But yeah, it's definitely the top set. Congratulations if you have any stuff and it's, you're seeing huge price appreciation. But yeah, kind of to circle back, like what does it mean for my business? Not a ton. When I do restock my 151 master sets, I will definitely have to increase the price because I'm going to be paying more to acquire those. I was looking through the other day, outside of the Gengar, that's gone absolutely insane and it's pushing like $20. A couple other of the reverse hollows have also started to increase a little bit. Some of them, like I said, have always been like $1, $2. Those are pretty stable off the top of my head. Things like the Metapod, Pidgeotto, Nidoran Male for some reason. Like there's just some weird kind of like niche, or not niche, but like just specific, Pokemon species where the reverse hollows have always kind of been expensive. Scyther, I think, has been one. But yeah, it's kind of odd. I don't know if those were just, I don't know if they can short print like specific cards. That'd be kind of odd. But yeah, some of them have always just kind of had this like extra value. Most of those don't look like they've changed. The Mewtwo, I think, is over, it's like $2.50, maybe $3, although that was yesterday. Who knows today? It might have gone up more. Dragonite, I think, is like over $2. So there's a couple that have increased a little bit. The Gengar is by far the craziest price movement. That went from like $4 to $20, like a 5x in the course of about a week. So if you do have any of those, go ahead and pull those out of your bulk. Maybe look to list those or sell them or whatever. Obviously, I'm always looking to buy cards. So if you have any 151 bulk that you'd like to sell, reach out to me, Instagram, Discord, comment section. I'd be happy to buy it from you. I'll certainly give you a fair price. When you're talking about the Gengar, I'd honestly just be a card I would buy at 70% of market, because at that point it's a $20 card and it's pretty much a known quantity. But yeah, if you have any 151 bulk, reach out. If this video is interesting or helpful to you, or you just like kind of watching somebody nerd out about their favorite hobby and being a Gen 1er, then consider subscribing. Follow me on my journey as I continue to grow this business. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.